Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing? This is an important video, guys. European stereotypes explained. It's important to have stereotypes about people, right? From different places. So finally, I'll be able to have stereotypes and judge people before I know them, based on where they're from. Living ironically in Europe. Check them out, link down below. I like that name. Let's go.
Europe.
You know, we actually have these in America, surprisingly. That might surprise some Europeans. Like, Americans are actually out there using their legs to move. Only when we're drinking beer. What the the hell?
Every Midwestern white girl's favorite continent, and also a region chock full of
What? What was this?
every
Oh, I see. It's just the UK, France, and Italy. Americans, I'm traveling to Europe.
Midwestern white
Pretty much.
girl's favorite continent, and also a region chock full of stereotypes.
It is kind of fun. It's funny how true that is. Like, indeed, every American white girl thinks Europe is an absolute paradise. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that is what they think. Probably to a degree that's, you know, it's kind of like, wow.
In the past, we've explained them all, from every and any country in the Balkans, no matter how small. That's because you're not a country. But today, we're going further and farther than any man has gone before. That's right, baby. We're going to talk about Western Europe. Now, if there's one single country in Europe everyone collectively enjoys making fun of, then that's
France.
France. If you've spent any ounce of time on the internet or watching TV, you've probably seen something like this.
I've worked for 3 years in human resource.
I'm not consider myself as a fluent.
The union involves a strict responsibility and a deep solidarity.
An odd guy who typically speaks with a
The French accent is something else. I don't even know what half those people just said. And it's not just because they use big words.
Fluent.
The union involves a strict responsibility and a deep solidarity.
An odd guy who typically speaks with a heavy nasal European accent that can be quite snobby, rude, full of himself, and in need of a lung transplant by the age of 35 from all the chain smoking. Usually the French are associated with quite a variety of negative attributes, majority of which were assigned to them by none other than the British. Before the 19th century, for the last 800 years, the favorite pastime of the British and French was trying to wipe each other off the map. Sometimes the English would colonize them, sometimes they would colonize the English. It doesn't really matter. The point is, during the time of French rule and later on regular rule, a lot of the ruling class were of French or Norman origin. As the ruling class tends to do, they focused on distinguishing themselves from meager peasants by doing weird activities and taking a liking to fine arts. Because of which, even to this day, a lot of vocabulary for arts, law, fashion, politics, gastronomy come from the French language. Thus, as any normal sound people, the British saw this ruling class as absolutely pretentious and full of themselves, and then ended up subsequently assigning the stereotype to the entire nation.
Nee, jij krijgt een enkeltje naar de rijstveld, jij vuile sodomiet!
Known across the continent as Swamp Germans for their language that
Swamp Germans.
sounds like German from a fever dream, and their habitat that consists of unusable marsh.
It is hard for me to tell the difference, I will say. But I can't tell the difference between, like, freaking Scottish people and Australian.
Language that sounds like German from a fever dream, and their habitat that consists of unusable marshlands they somehow turned usable. The Dutch are another group of people across Europe like to poke fun at. To the less informed, the Netherlands is a home of stoners, potheads, and crazy European casual sex. Most of this image comes from the tourist impression of Amsterdam due to its hundreds of special coffee shops and infamous red light district. Yet, despite this, the Dutch are actually some of the lowest regular users of the devil's lettuce.
That's quite interesting.
In Europe. However, a more
Is it because they're using something else?
prevailing stereotype about the Dutch is that they're stingy. As a common joke in Belgium would put it, how does a Dutchman make a cake? He goes to his neighbor to borrow 4 cups of flour, 3 eggs, a cup of milk, and etc, etc. Because of the stereotype, in English there's a term, going Dutch, which means splitting the bill evenly. Because
Oh. That's why they call it that, eh?
apparently it is a cardinal sin in the Netherlands to treat someone. During house parties in the Netherlands, every guest only receives 1 cube of cheese and lunch meat, rather than a nice full platter. I don't really know where this stereotype originates from, but if you do, please let me know in the comment section down below. It's also a great stereotype that the Dutch
Is that a real stereotype?
are the bluntest people on earth. In Dutch,
Even blunter than Germans, huh?
there's even a word for it,
Bespreekbaarheid.
meaning that everything can and should be spoken out loud. So if you've got a
Isn't that the American mindset?
major insecurity that's caused you never to post
Actually, people say Americans are just like fake, huh? Like, they'll speak out loud constantly, but it's all fake.
any pictures of
You never know what I'm really thinking.
yourself on social media, then you better avoid the Netherlands. It is believed that this stereotype comes from the country's Calvinist identity. Within the Calvinist church, individual efficiency, reliability, and honest self-introspection are greatly encouraged. So, because of this, the Netherlands became, well, blunt.
Without acid come from Germany, everybody would be lost. The country is responsible for the holographic map.
If there's one country in Europe, nay, the world, that everyone has something to say about, then that's Germany. Some of the more global stereotypes about the Germans are that they're obsessed with rules and order, they can't stand not being punctual, and if a train leaves
That's like the least offensive stereotype I've ever heard. They can't stand not being punctual. Zinger! Got 'em. You can't stand not being punctual.
obsessed with rules and order,
Get
they
wrecked.
can't stand not being punctual, and if a train leaves by just 1.5 minutes later than it's supposed to, they have a brain aneurysm and die. And of course, they
Doesn't that happen all the time, though?
lack more humor than a graveyard filled with babies. Interestingly enough, it seems that quite a bit of today's
I enjoy the German memes.
modern German
They're pretty funny.
graveyard filled with babies. Interestingly enough, it seems that quite a bit of today's modern German national character can be tracked back to the man who ruined Europe and is single-handedly to blame for the existence of megachurches. Martin Luther, the Protestant reformer. Alongside being known for nailing posters on churches and trolling the Catholic
You know what? I just realized he started the whole note thing in Germany. Because you guys, in Germany, they're giving each other notes. You know, they put it on the doors, even. Theses, if you will, about how loud each other is and shit like that. It was Martin Luther that started it. Okay.
Luther was also quite famous for his love of books and beer. In addition to this, he was also known for his love of order and rules. One of Martin Luther's best known quotes is, Ordnung muss sein unter den Leuten, meaning there must be order among the people. And as you know,
These B-roll clips are cracking me up.
Luther and his teachings were embraced by Germans with open arms. Thus, as a result, characteristics associated with the Pope's greatest enemy also got associated with Germans. These stereotypes of orderliness and rigidness further got associated with
What is this a real argument? I need to see this actual video.
Germans. These stereotypes of orderliness and
Isn't it illegal, though, to be filming someone without their consent in Germany?
rigidness
So this might be staged.
further got associated with people due to the Prussians as well, due to Prussia being a highly militarized society which valued order and discipline. As such, the Germans today will never live down the jokes of not being able to have fun and only giving their dogs a total of 10 allowed barks per day.
No, I'm from Germany. Oh, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Now, I know what you're thinking. Janos, why are you putting in Austrians here as well? They're just Germans' light version. And yes, you're right, for the most part. A lot of the stereotypes that are associated with Germans are associated with the Austrians as well. However, while we perceive them as the same people, in the German-speaking world, this could not be further from the case. Believe it or not, in Germany, the Austrians are considered as the extroverts and friendly bunch. I know, it's wild, isn't it? Because of this and their tendency
Everything is relative, I
to
suppose.
be more rural, and because of their funny accent and dialect,
Hallo? Ich mag das 2 Bier bitte und ein Weißwein Schorle. Oder, sehr Chef. Oder, ja, komm mit 2 Bier und eine Spitze bitte.
many Germans also stereotype the Austrians as being Hicks. The stereotype is so
Hicks. That is so funny being applied to people in Europe somehow.
bad that Arnold Schwarzenegger, a native German speaker, wasn't allowed to voice himself in the German
Because we just, over here in America, Europe is thought of as being quite posh and, oh, yeah. So to think there's Hicks, I mean, it's funny.
dubs of his movies because of the negative association with the Austrian accent.
Like it down there.
Let me be the judge of that. I'm tired of the same old faces, the same old things.
Like it down there.
Fütyülsz, bazd meg, és hazudsz. Mert egy szar szemét szar alak vagy.
¿Por qué había llegado el 18 tiki-tiki-ti? Cuando iba saliendo de mi casa ya me estaban esperando.
Now, although this region of Europe consists of several distinct peoples with different histories, cultures, languages, and penis sizes, in my years of hard and tenuous
Oh, we're talking centimeters.
histories, cultures, languages, and penis
I was terrified for a second.
sizes, in my years of hard and tenuous research, I have come to the conclusion that everyone in Europe sees Southern Europeans the same way. One of the first stereotypes is being laid back and lazy. In particular, Spain is characterized by this the most. A leading theory for this origin is the custom of siesta. Originally, this custom came to be when most of Spain worked in agriculture. Due to the hot Spanish sun and hard back-breaking labor, it became a normal occurrence to take a nap in the middle of the day between work hours as a way of avoiding the hottest part of the day and recuperating one's strength.
It's interesting because here in America, I mean, people have those same kind of stereotypes. It's actually really weird and inappropriate stereotype about Mexican people. And I'm not even one about that's like offended by stereotypes particularly, but Mexicans are not lazy. That's the thing. That's why it's weird. That's why I'm saying it's weird. But I'm maybe it has something to do with the fact that Mexico was in the Spanish Empire. Like maybe that's why they have that reputation. I mean, obviously they speak Spanish and they also, I guess, take siestas or something. I don't know. Maybe they don't. But there is that stereotype that exists of them being lazy Mexican people here in America, but they're very not lazy. Like they work grueling jobs here in America, at least, and long hours. So, yeah.
And seeing that for the majority of Europe, hottest part of the day and recuperating one's strength. And seeing that for the majority of European history, Catholics and Protestants were at each other's throats and fighting God knows how many wars, the trope of the lazy Catholic spread across the continent.
The lazy Catholic. I never heard that.
In Italy,
it's very interesting hearing about stereotypes because it's kind of a taboo subject, you know, stereotypes in general. So to actually hear them kind of like exposed, like this is what Europeans think about other European countries, a little bit funny. Typically, I only ever hear about what you guys think about Americans.
Same stereotype can be applied in the south of the
It's kind of nice hearing about other countries.
country. The Northerners spread across the continent. In Italy, the same stereotype can be applied in the south of the country. The Northerners, who have a milder climate and are less open to the concept of fun, are characterized as being more similar to the Germans and Austrians. As a result, the south
What was that dude doing?
are characterized as being more similar to the Germans and
Where's this guy find these clips?
Austrians. As a result, the South Italians as being lazy, backwards, and basically the Balkans 2.0.
Oh my god, wait. I had to listen to that like 5 times to understand. He said, the South Italians. And I had to turn the captions on. I thought he was saying they insult the Italians or something.
Stereotype Italians as being lazy, more similar to the Germans and Austrians. As a result, the South Italians as being lazy, backwards, and basically the Balkans 2.0. These stereotypes further spread as the Southern Italians were the main group that migrated to America from the peninsula, spreading those stereotypes to the US as well.
The stereotypes that we're lazy. That's an interesting one. I guess like that coincides with being fat. Is that right? Are Americans, is that an American stereotype? I'm a little bit confused. Obviously, I've heard a million American stereotypes. But also a critique is that working hours are very long here in America. So I've never specifically feel like I've heard lazy as a critique. Other than, I guess with like the car culture and people not walking very much, it's pretty lazy.
America from the peninsula, spreading those stereotypes to the US as well.
Okay.
Perkele, siihen koske, saatana vie.
From the warm and sunny beaches of Iberia and Apennine Peninsula, we head north into the lands of snow, damp socks, and no sunshine, which somehow, despite everyone's abuse of antidepressants, is still somehow labeled as the happiest place on earth.
The happiness report is interesting because it's, you know, it's a difficult thing to quantify. You're relying on people just telling you how happy they are. So it's like, you know, people have different bars. Like here in America, I think that a lot of people are unhappy because they are sold this like American dream and that they're going to have some extravagant life here in America. And if they don't achieve that, then they're unhappy, even if they have like a decent, good, average life. You know what I mean?
Scandinavia. Despite being depicted as a fun-loving, jolly old puppet chef on the Muppets, the Scandinavians have a reputation across Europe of having the worst food ever concocted on the planet. Because the land is, unsatisfying.
It is true that there's no Scandinavian restaurants here in America. I don't know what that says about anything, but, you know, there's plenty of French and Italian and other. There's German. There's no Scandinavian. I'm just saying. I don't know what that said. I mean, I'm just saying.
Factory.
Let's move on.
And the climate is less than ideal. With a short growing season, there isn't a whole lot you can make yummy, delicious food with. So they're kind of stuck with rank fish in a can. Who knows? Maybe that's why they take so many antidepressants. They're also known for being obsessed with heavy metal, especially their version of Hungary, Finland. Why is this the case?
Wait, do they really take like a lot of antidepressants? Because that's kind of odd as well. I think he said that earlier. But that is odd that they take that, if they take a lot of antidepressants, but they're the happiest people. Maybe that's why they are the happiest people.
I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with making up imaginary problems when your country is so perfect in every single way, dealing with staying inside most of the year, something about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't know. And yeah, that would be Western Europe. I know, not nearly as fun as the Balkans, but what can you do? Anyways, what are some of your favorite stereotypes from Western Europe? And are there any stereotypes I missed? Let me know in the comment section down below.
That was actually kind of fascinating as an American hearing that. It feels kind of good too. It's like, okay, you guys kind of shit on, obviously you guys shit on Americans a lot, but you also shit on each other a little bit. It's nice. You know, it's not just us, even if we are currently the biggest clown on earth by far. Me, a Central Italian, slightly funnier than a Northerner, slightly less lazy than a Southerner, cultivating a deep hatred for both. Okay. This was a really, really funny video. Go check out his channel, Living Ironically in Europe, link down below. It should honestly have more views. I mean, 500,000's a lot. That's an accomplishment. But it was that good. Go check out his channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.